So I founded 4 businesses, which is absolutely insane, I think. And the first company that I founded, I started when I was in college at FDU. I started in my dorm room. And in all honesty and full disclosure, I started the business with one goal in mind, and that was to raise enough money to pay for beer. I continued with it, and when I graduated, I looked at the company, I said to myself, all right, now I'm going to have to go get a real job. Was trying to figure out what I was going to do. Didn't really want to go work for anybody else. Didn't really think anybody would hire me, to be honest with you. And looked at the business and realized, well, hey, we've got about 8 employees here. We're doing about $1 million in revenue. Why don't I just continue along with this thing? Which is what I did. And for the next 39 quarters, we increased revenue and we increased profitability quarter over quarter for 39 quarters. Just because I didn't know that you could lose money in a quarter. We made the Inc. 500. The company went global and really was a rock-solid company. In the end, we were acquired by a Fortune 500 company in a strategic acquisition. It was a life-changing experience for me, and I look back and I said, wow, look at everything that I've learned in just building this one business. So I decided that I was going to build another one, a second one. So I went out, I raised a whole bunch of money, acquired some patents, built a really neat product, launched it, went public, and then crashed. So that was, I was trying to lick my wounds from that one, and I said, I don't know if anybody's going to hire me now, so why don't I just go out and try to start another business, which is what I did. And I built it was a manufacturer of smart cards in Colorado. Basically what we did is we had a patented process that we acquired to put computer chips into credit cards. And there's a lot of this going on. You don't realize that a lot of your credit cards actually have chips in them right now, even today. But we built the world's very first smart card that was NIST FIPS Level 3 rated, which is just a fancy way of saying that the government endorsed it from a security perspective, and no one else in the world had that. So that company went public. That company is still around. But I got bored with that, so I decided to launch a 4th business. I saw this convergence of the legal industry and the technology industry and have a little bit of a technology background and saw this space in computer forensics and started a company called P.G. Lewis & Associates, really with the single purpose of trying to build a company to be acquired in a very specific industry at a very specific point in time. So I know you're not supposed to time things, but I wanted to time this.
Right, and you had a venture that you just talked about that failed.
Yes.
So how did you take those lessons and get to the point of saying, okay, I can start another business and I think it's going to be a success?
You get emotionally wrapped up, and when you're in something that's not going well and you know it's not going well, and you try to you blame everything else for the reason why it's not going well. Well, this was a .com company, and it was a .com play, so I kind of got sucked into that hole. But you have to get to a point where you cut bait. Mm-hmm. So the net result, or the end result of that venture was I didn't lose money. In fact, I made a little bit of money on it, but I got to the point where I said, okay, this is not going to go. This is failed. Accept that. It's okay to fail. So at that point, I was 50-50, and everybody hears the old rule: if you get bat .333, you're going to, you're a home run hitter, you're a star. So I said, well, I'm 50-50. That's great. So you just have to get to the point where you know you can move on. You have to understand it's time to move on.